all right. It's the sound of a Malarkey coming right at you. This is your host, Matt. And with me is my trusty co-host, Mr. John. How's it going, sir?
What's up?
Not much. We are here. Another Malarkey. Brand new week. Brand new podcast. Brand new hope. As I like to say.
Brand new hope.
Brand new hope.
We're going to get Matthew McConaughey to find a new planet. All right.
Let's start off this episode with little footballs, John.
Little footballs?
Little football.
They're little footballs.
Little footballs. All right. Pretty.
Gotta add that to the soundboard.
What? Oh, yeah. Little football.
Yeah.
Pretty uneventful day in football.
Matt eats candy while he talks.
Yes, I have many candy. So, what was your favorite game?
I hated them all except for the New England game that got me back to even. This was a really good day for Vegas. I mean, I like the fact that Pittsburgh came and it was a back-and-forth game, and then in the fourth quarter, I think they outscored them 25-0.
Oh, yeah, something like that, right? The last quarter?
Yeah.
25 points?
25-0. So they are actually officially in the wild card spot right now, again.
Yeah, it's crazy how there's a lot of teams still in it. Like the NFC, especially the NFC. The NFC is wide open. Especially the NFC. You know what I find crazy? You know, Carolina, they lost, like 6 in a row? And with today's win, they're still technically in the division race. That's what's crazy about it.
Yeah. The fact that New Orleans got their ass kicked by Carolina.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
They're all there. 5-7, Atlanta 5-8, New Orleans 4-8, Carolina
4-8-1. So.
Oh yeah, they had that tie.
The only team out of that in that division is Tampa Bay with 2-11. So you're talking earlier about the game you did like.
The game that intrigued me the most
was the Patriots San Diego game. San Diego was it until the end, and New England beat them 23-14.
Yeah. Well, that was good for me on paper. But the game that actually intrigued me the most was the Jets and the 49ers. It was low scoring.
Those two games?
Yeah.
Two separate games.
Because I actually I picked the Jets to cover, which was a really low spread. I thought they had a legitimate chance to. I'm sorry, it wasn't a low spread, but I thought they had a legitimate chance to win, and they actually pulled it off. But I keep thinking at this point of the season, we got all these 2-win teams, and we all want number 1 picks. You got Tampa Bay with 2, you got the Jets with 2.
Sure.
You got Tennessee with 2.
Yes,
you got Jacksonville with 2.
So they're all going to be vying for that.
Of course, Oakland with 2.
Yeah. They're messing up. They're winning. Oakland's trying to... I don't know what they're trying to do, but they're trying to screw themselves over number 1 pick.
Let's rewind why I said the Jets, even though that was intriguing to me, too, because it went into overtime. I was talking about the Oakland 49ers game.
Yeah.
That was... Even though I watched most of both of those. Both of those teams could have pulled it out. But
yeah.
Interesting, because you wonder, everybody wants that number 1 pick. I don't even know who
I don't know who would be the projected number 1.
No, me neither. But when it comes to football, I think it's the number 1 pick is probably the most important than any other sport.
You think in football? I disagree with that.
I think you got to get a top.
I think it's more important.
3, maybe.
I think it's more important in basketball.
Basketball?
Yeah. Because one player's not gonna change that much to a football team. It depends who it is. Like if it's like an Andrew Luck.
You should be asking the Cleveland Cavaliers, who get the number 1 pick every year.
Yeah, but that's different. Than they're not a very well-run organization.
Well, they should hire a guy to pick.
That's what I'm saying. Like they're not very well. Like the only reason they've had any success in the last 15 years because there's a certain man named LeBron was there for a lot of it. So.
Yeah, but was it 3 out of 4 years, number 1 pick?
Yeah, that was because that's the years that LeBron wasn't there. Yeah, so I mean it's.
Most people can't even name the number 1 pick from last year.
From last year, it was who was it? Oh, what's his name? He's with Minnesota now.
Yeah, I was gonna say they traded him.
Wiggins.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And before that, it was another guy that turned out to be a nobody.
Bennett.
Yeah, Andrew Bennett, right?
Yeah. Who they traded to Minnesota as well.
Yeah, and before that, it was the good one with the eyebrows.
Yeah, Anthony Davis.
Yeah.
And then Kyrie Irving. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think it's
they're picking okay players for, half the time.
But imagine if it was a well-run organization. Like say I don't know, the Spurs.
Who would be one? Like Winston? I don't even know. I mean, I guess quarterback-wise, maybe.
But he hasn't looked good this year.
He hasn't lost.
Yeah, but it's not like they're playing
Yeah.
tough opponents. But
who knows?
We digress. So you said that one of your favorite games tonight was that Pats game. I showed it to you before we started this, and I'm gonna put it up on the screen right now for our listeners. The only thing I found interesting about this game was that Tom Brady tantrum. I'm showing it right now. It's almost like he's sneezing.
Sneezing.
Yeah. You remember I showed it to you earlier.
Yeah, I know.
But I don't know. That's just I think that's just that little moment there showcases why a lot of people don't like Tom Brady. He's sort of like a childish guy. Like I don't know.
Pats finish off Chargers.
It's not up on our screen, John. You keep waiting for
I'm just saying what's in my head.
So that happened. We're getting closer to the playoffs. I think this next few weeks is going to be a little more exciting because we're going to have. I think next week we have the Eagles playing the Cowboys for essentially the NFC East title. Pretty much whoever wins next week, I'm probably going to win the NFC East.
That's in Philly.
That's in Philly, I think. Yeah, because they played Thanksgiving at Dallas.
Oh, Dallas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think these last 3 weeks? Is it three more weeks we have left?
AFC North is pretty sexy.
AFC North, there is not one team below 500, right?
No.
So, you have the NFC South, but there's no team above 500. So, it's an interesting year for football. We will see. I think these last few weeks and even the playoffs are going to be interesting. But let's move on from sports. Today is Sunday, but it's another day, John. It's another important day. It is December 7th. Do you know?
Oh God, tax day.
Do you know what the significance of that day is?
No.
You don't. It is a lot, and a lot of people were celebrating it today. It is Pearl Harbor Day.
Wow. Yeah.
It is the 73-year anniversary of the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor.
Allegedly.
15 survivors of that attack, American survivors, were gathered at the National World War II Memorial to see their service recognized. In Washington.
There's still 15 left?
There's 15 of them left. Very old men. But I guess a lot of them were real young.
A day that will live in infamy.
It's because of that I knew from a very young age what infamy means.
Yeah.
So you could thank Mr. Roosevelt for that.
Mr. Ben Affleck.
So yeah, 1941. Yeah, I mean, I guess I'm sure a lot of them were 18. They were young.
They dropped lots and lots of bombs, and then we dropped 2.
Right. A lot of them are probably in their 90s or more.
I don't know if that's something we should be proud of, but
no.
I'm just saying. You drop hundreds of bombs. We drop 2.
Yes. So, yeah. I mean, there's all around the country, there's people celebrating it. About a dozen of the veterans of what President, like you said earlier, President Franklin D. Roosevelt termed a day which will live in infamy, came to Washington as guests of honor. Flight Austin, Texas. Mayor Lee Leffenwell was scheduled to speak, was unable to attend due to sickness, so the nonprofit chairman, Alan Bergerson, spoke in his place. So, yeah, I mean, they had a lot of ceremonies in Washington. 73 years later. Along, like I said, there's 15 survivors left. Now they're aged 91 to 95. Very old men. Makes you wonder if they remember.
All right. I was in the bathroom.
There's someone from Austin, Texas.
No, I did see it today on TV about 3 times. When you said it, I was like, I don't know what December 7th is.
Yeah. One of them said that they're asking him about that day. He goes, I was overwhelmed. We had to clean up the harbor, take the dead, and bury them. I was just 17 years old. It kind of messed up my head a little bit. And I'm sure it's something that stays with you. Everybody says you're a hero, but I was just a fussy-faced kid who did what others did. Today is really special for me because I'm just a little nobody. So, I mean, I guess it was that, when it happened, 9/11, we sort of talk about, that was the 9/11 at that time. Something that nobody was ever going to forget, America getting attacked. So,
right. But they were actually there.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. But you know what I mean.
Yeah, I'm just saying, yeah.
And this is interesting.
JFK and whatever you want to.
This is actually interesting. One of them one of the survivors. His name is James Lavelle. Hopefully, I'm pronouncing his name right. He was a 21-year-old sailor aboard the USS Whitney during the attack. Lavelle later worked in the Dallas Police Department Homicide Bureau and was handcuffed to President John F. Kennedy's assassin, Lee Harvey Oswald, when Oswald was shot and killed by Jack Ruby. Mm-hmm. So interesting little connection between. You just mentioned JFK.
Yeah.
So.
No, I know. I've heard that before. I couldn't think of his name, but
yeah. Lavelle. Hopefully, I'm pronouncing his name right. Lavelle. It's spelled Leavelle.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I'm not mispronouncing.
Because I've heard people ask who that other guy was. And
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of late night talk radio.
And apparently he at first he declined the invitation for today's ceremony because he wants to stay home with his sick wife, but he decided to come at the last minute. His wife passed away just a few weeks ago. That's
a hell of a story though. You're at Pearl Harbor and you were there.
Yeah, when the president's supposed assassin got killed.
Yeah.
So, but
I have seen a lot of shit.
Yeah. Apparently, his wife passed away just weeks ago. After 73 years of marriage, they met at Pearl Harbor. So they actually, it's like, hey, sort of knows when their anniversary is, just by how many years it's been since Pearl Harbor.
Nice.
So,
when
I don't know.
He sees all the stuff on the TV, he knows.
Right.
Oh shit!
I gotta go buy something. So I mean, that is interesting, Yeah, being at Pearl Harbor and at that time, but
yeah, no, I remember hearing that on the radio.
Yeah, he hit the lottery. So,
twice.
Yes. So I guess it's a day to really sort of remember the people who died, not just at Pearl Harbor, but in World War II, because that sort of catapulted us into World War II. So
we got out of it pretty good.
Yeah, that helped us.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Definitely a lot of. Why do you keep bringing downers in this?
You want to continue the downer sort of theme?
Not really. Salute the troops. Go America. And
salute the troops. Yes.
Let's move on.
Let's move on to something even more downer. But I want to talk about it because I think it's important. You say you haven't really kept up with this. What I'm talking about is the Eric Garner decision that was decided Wednesday of this week. For people who aren't familiar with it or just don't remember, Eric Garner was a man who was killed by an NYPD officer back in July. He was put on a chokehold and essentially was choked to death. It was there's that video that went and made rounds where he keeps saying I can't breathe. So
what city was this?
It was New York. You say you haven't seen the video, right?
Not really.
Let me play a little bit of it for you and our audience who haven't seen it. This is...
Don't worry, because he was just sitting here. I just came here. Sitting here.
Mind my business. I'm fight break guy stop.
Yes.
Don't say you can put it up on me.
That's all right.
The people that's fighting just don't walk away. Are you serious? I didn't do nothing. What did I do? What am I ID on me? Take you left for what? I didn't sell anything. I did nothing. We sitting here the whole time. Mind our business. What are you talking about? Who watched you do what? Who did I sell cigarette to? To who?
Not that rich. There's another guy in the
Easy way or hard way for what? Every time you see me, you want to mess with me. I'm tired of it. It stops today.
This guy right here is forcibly trying to lock somebody up for breaking up a fight.
Everybody standing here, they told you I didn't do nothing. I did not sell nothing. Because every time you see me, you want to harass me, you want to stop me, trying to sell a cigarette. I'm minding my business, officer. I'm minding my business. Please just leave me alone. I told you the last time. Please just leave me alone. Please, don't touch me. Don't touch me.
Hold on.
No, listen, don't touch me, please. Do not touch me.
Put your hand behind you.
I can't breathe. 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 I can't breathe.
Once again, police beating up on people.
Back
Look
up.
right here.
Back up and get on that steps.
Okay.
Back up.
All he did was break up a fight. And this what happens for breaking up a fight. This crazy.
Everybody back up. Back up.
Can't breathe. Look, now I mean, they gave this man a seizure.
Yo, move out the way. Yo.
It's my brother. We live
You know
here.
what? Back up this way. Everybody now back up. It's now going to become a crime scene. Back it up. Back it up. Come
I'm
on.
going to my house.
No. This way. Let's go.
Can't go in my
The house or that way?
All right, I go
pick
that
a,
way.
Pick a choice.
I'm getting my
Let's
bike.
Go. You had your chance to get your bike, sir. Staying over there right now. We haven't seen it.
So that was it's part of the video. It's not that's up to what that person recorded. As you can see, they John, do you want to guess what big bad crime this man did to get arrested?
I already know because you told me.
You went to the audience with
He was reselling cigarettes or something.
yeah, he's reselling loose cigarettes on the street, well, supposedly. And I guess you know, you hear him in the video saying, I'm tired of you harassing me all the time. So I mean, I guess they know him. He's known, I guess, for doing that, and he was at it again apparently. And they went and confronted him, and they went to arrest him and choked him. Up until now, up until actually this week, this was the part of the video that everybody saw, right? You saw him, put in handcuffs, and then you saw that. A second part is a second video that was shot by a different person that shows sort of the aftermath that hadn't really been shown until I think a couple days ago. Shows the police waiting for the EMS to show up because I mean the guy didn't die right then and there right away. And this video shows them just leaving his body there and waiting for the EMS to come. And I mean, I'll show the video, but it's very clear in the video that he isn't breathing, and nobody really seems concerned on giving him CPR or we're trying to help him before the EMS shows up. Let me play that video right now. It casts a new light on, I think, on all of this. Let's see. Let me sort of cue it up. It's going to take a little bit, but and what do you think, John? Just seeing this, the first part. What is your opinion?
Excessive force.
Right? Like, you know, a lot of people are comparing it to, you know, the whole Ferguson thing. My argument with that, though, is there's a lot more ambiguity in the Ferguson case, in my opinion, because we really don't know what happened there. There is conflicting reports. Some people were saying that he had his hands up, other people saying he didn't. Other people saying that he did attack the police officer first. So, you know, for me, in that case, there is more. We really don't know what happened. You know, there isn't video. In this one, there is. I mean, it's pretty clear cut what happened here. You know,
throw it up there with. Doesn't look good.
Does not look good at all.
The first time we actually have video of something that's going on.
Yeah. Here's the video. It shows them sort of standing around while they wait for the EMS to come.
Where's the ambulance?
I mean, you can clearly see the guy's passed out. And it seems they're more concerned about keeping people back than helping him. Like, I mean, he's out. He's knocked out. He's clearly doesn't seem like he's breathing.
Well, the Supreme Court says we can film the police officers.
Yeah.
Yeah, back up. Y'all got him on the floor.
They just don't like it.
They just don't like it.
Back up.
Yeah.
You hear this?
They're not interfering with
Now they're
them.
trying to get him an ambulance. After they harassed him, slammed him down, NYPD. You understand? He's going viral right here.
I mean, look at him. I mean, he's clearly knocked out. Like, he isn't breathing.
Harassing people for no reason.
They don't just keep him on his side. They don't even try to get him up.
Going viral. Now they want to step back. They want to try to get him an ambulance. After they beat him up, roll him to the ground.
So, this video is a little long. I want to cue it up to when the EMS pops up. Okay, so here's the EMS. She shows up right about here. Let's see, right here.
Sorry, EMS is here. Answer their questions, okay?
So obviously he can't answer the question because he can't breathe.
Did he just talk?
No, they're asking him, but
he's unconscious.
He's unconscious. I think they said it took about 5 minutes for the EMS, but the whole time that happened, like, they were just standing around. So here she's checking his pulse. Apparently he's still alive, but he really just can't breathe. But he's not answering. But yet they still don't. They still just leave him lying there. I don't know. The most disturbing part. I mean, this video is like about 8 minutes long. So you have this unconscious man who, you know, before they took him down was struggling, and he kept saying he can't breathe. All of a sudden, he's not moving anymore. It sort of clue you in that maybe he should be, you know, maybe performing CPR on him, or trying to get him help. But they just let him lay there for the full 8 minutes of this video. So it's online if you want to watch the whole thing, but it's there. I mean, there's the evidence. Like, my thing, I want to preface this by, I respect cops. I think cops have a very tough job, but at the same time, I don't think it excuses them when they do mess up. And in my opinion, this is a big mess up.
Yeah.
And this is something that probably happens a lot more than people realize. It just doesn't get caught on tape.
I don't know. They acquitted the officer that was
the officer who was on trial was the one who actually put the chokehold on him. Yeah, he was the one on trial, and he got acquitted this past week. I don't know. It just seems like, people say, well, he was struggling, blah, blah, but it's excessive force for what he did. You talk about somebody. I mean, this is not a violent man. This is they're basically questioning him for a little misdemeanor.
In my opinion, what we just saw, at the very least, was involuntary manslaughter. That's I don't even want to call it an opinion, because I think it's pretty cut and dry.
If this wasn't a cop,
because I can think about 3 or 4 other things they could do to detain that man, and I don't even want to say he was resisting.
No,
like physically.
No,
I mean, even I expected Ferguson. I expected that to get dropped. Trayvon Martin, I expected to get dropped.
Yeah.
But what we're looking at here
for me, this is completely different.
What we're looking at here is a clear-cut piece of evidence that is
excessive force.
Was also dropped, that should not have been dropped at all.
Yeah.
The very least, there should be some... it's not funny, I just laugh because I can't...
Yeah, you can't really, like...
I think somebody should be in trouble right now. That's...
You know what?
That's part of the human condition.
And for me, I think that this goes back to the most basic thing when it comes to avoiding this. And is this. Now, I think most people listening and most people out there can relate, because I think most people were becoming a customer service economy. Most people, jobs involve customer service. I mean, wouldn't you agree with that? So...
No.
For most people's jobs,
they're usually outsourced now.
No, but you know what I mean. Like now we used to be a manufacturing country. Now we don't manufacture anything. You know.
I understand your concern.
You know, so
stop putting me on hold.
So my thing, let's do an example. Okay, say you work at Target, right? You're a Target employee. You deal with customers every day, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Would it
be okay if I sold cigarettes in the back of Target? Is that what you're going to ask?
I don't know how you got that. Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to ask. No. So say I'm a Target associate and...
There's anything wrong with selling it in the back.
There's nothing wrong. You got to make a living. Say you're a Target associate and a customer comes in and he asks for your help and you're very rude to them. You don't help them. You blow them off. And there's proof of it. It's on video. And the customer complains. What do you think is going to happen to that employee?
He will probably get a promotion.
Probably get fired, right?
Yeah,
or at the very least, probably get a little in some trouble.
He'll get at least a little mark on his badge there. And, get a warning or get fired.
He'll probably get fired. More likely, he'll probably get fired.
He sounds like the kind of guy that already has a couple marks. So,
yeah,
he might get fired.
Okay, now, remember that example. Now
he'll have to go to selling the cigarettes full time.
Right. They push him to a life of crime. Okay, now let's change from a Target associate to, let's say he's a
Walmart.
He's a. We go through about 30 of these. It's just changing the name of the store. Now let's change it to a cop. And say a cop pulls somebody over. He's very rude to them. Doesn't listen to them at all. Just blows them off. Yeah. Gives them their ticket. Very rude to them. This person's very upset, obviously. And he calls this officer sergeant. And says, you know what? I got pulled over by, sergeant, by officer whatever. Badge number, blah, blah, blah. And gives them all the information. He was very rude to me. I recorded our exchange. I'll send you the video if you want. Say the sergeant listens to this person and sees the video. This officer being extremely rude to that person. What do you think is going to happen to that officer? You think the sergeant's going to fire that officer? You think the sergeant's going to reprimand them?
The first thing he's going to ask is, have you showed this to internal affairs?
Probably nothing's gonna happen to him, right?
Is this like LAPD?
No, I'm just saying. It's just him doing the exact same as the previous example, just being really rude, just exactly the same thing. What do you think is gonna happen to the officer? Probably nothing, right?
Probably not.
All right. So and I know it seems sort of stupid, like, oh, I mean, it's apples and oranges. It's not reading like you can't really do the same example. They do these two jobs do two different things, right? But I do think it's important because I think a lot of these situations could just be avoided if officers, because you know what? They are public servants. They might not be selling anything, but they do have And it might be different because it's not customers, but they are serving the public. And a lot of this stuff couldn't be avoided if they knew proper customer service. And I think it's even more important for officers to have good customer service than the target employee, because what's the worst that's going to happen if a target employee is rude to a customer? Customer might not come back. More likely they are, but they're just not going to like that associate, right?
Unless they get him a chokehold.
Yeah. What's the worst that can happen with an officer? We see prior examples all the time where they most of the time they're lucky and it's just it's like, oh, fucking asshole cop. But then you're going to get examples like this where it does turn violent.
Now,
and I think it's even more important for,
there
officers...
should be some definite... just strip their badge. I mean, honestly, strip their badge.
And we heard from...
Because, I guess it's not the same thing, but I was going to say, like, you get somebody, I don't know, say, like, with drug possession. You got them there, and they actually get convicted, blah, 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 by a police officer, assuming it's all legit. And that actually probably go on your record for a very long time. When you strip their badge, I mean, I actually don't know which situation is really worse, in your opinion.
Stripping of their badge or what?
A cop with a stripped badge or a civilian with a drug possession charge that'll never go away?
Is that drug possession charge?
Right.
Yeah, definitely.
And usually the guy with the drug possession charge didn't chokehold a black man to death.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think it's more than fair to, at the very least, let's have a hearing and decide whether or not this thing should go to trial, than to say, oops.
Yeah, chalk it up for we have another dead man.
Yeah.
Another dead black man. Oh, well. You know?
Right.
That's sort of the attitude it shows. You know?
Right. I mean, they get stripped of their badge. There's 99,000 other jobs out there they can have.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's not going to come on your record because nothing happened.
Yeah.
You just lost your job.
Yeah.
Plenty
of people get fired from the job
again. It's like the same thing you said, Target. Oh,
yeah.
Well, I can never work at Target again. Oh, I can never work for the police force again. Okay.
Yeah.
So, blah. It's not the same as a possession.
I think that's a good trade-off.
It's not the same as a possession charge with a 19-year-old kid driving in his car, getting pulled over by the same asshole cop that just killed a guy.
Yeah.
And then we trade positions there. So that's how.
President Obama this week spoke about talking about
cameras,
more training for officers.
Oh.
Which is all good and dandy, but what kind of training? And I bet you it has nothing to do with good customer service.
It's bullshit. It's PR.
It's all PR. They're going to do training, but it's not even going to be anything that's going to change the situation or the situation happening again. The problem is, and you know what, and I don't want to pick on the police because I don't want to get pulled over. No, but because, there's assholes in every occupation. There's asshole plumbers, there's asshole firemen, there's asshole teachers, there's asshole whatever. Whatever you are, pick whatever occupations, there's an asshole that works in that field. The biggest difference is these assholes have power. And when you give an asshole power, it's going to be a little bit of a dick. And a dick with power is very dangerous.
It's like, yeah. It's like in the superhero movies when the bad guy just suddenly becomes like,
yeah.
So he falls into like some kind of electrical fucking machine in a lab.
Yeah. Because I'm sure everybody's dealt with an officer in one time in their life. They've been pulled over and gotten a ticket or whatever. And they probably dealt with, especially if they pull over more than once, at least one dick.
Just once for me.
And it's a very scary feeling because something you can do. You could do almost whatever. As long as he doesn't really now he could kill you. And apparently go get away with it. But, it takes something really extreme for them to really get in trouble, and that's what's scary about it. Because there's no consequences.
Right.
And the only reason this person got even a little bit in trouble is because there's video of it. And that's the reason they don't like video. You know, it's not illegal what these people are doing, videotaping officers, as long as they're not obstructing with their investigation, which they aren't.
You can film all day.
You can film all day. The reason they don't like it is because they don't want proof. You know, it looks worse.
Right.
The worst thing a police department is the thing that they're most afraid of is bad PR. That's the only thing they have.
At the very least, this should go to a hearing and possibly trial for involuntary manslaughter.
Oh, he got cleared. That's the thing.
No, I know it's not going to. I'm just saying, at the very least, it should.
Yeah.
Or should have.
Like the very least that should happen is that you shouldn't be a cop anymore, and who knows if that's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, you can't be this was in New York?
Yeah. You can't be a cop.
Try. You're probably going to be a cop with a desk job.
You got to take him at least off the street and not take him off the force, because that was excessive. I don't care what anybody says. Oh, he was resisting, whatever. That's excessive. Like, I don't know. It takes a lot to choke somebody to death. It takes a lot.
I don't know.
And the second video...
This probably is the worst, and you go to, like, I guess we start with, well, I'm going to start with Rodney King.
Yeah, it's probably the worst since Rodney King.
It's pretty bad.
And you know what? People like to... A lot of people are going to be like, well, you know, he was committing a crime. Yeah, he was committing a crime. Yeah. If he was selling cigarettes, yeah, he was breaking the law. But somebody,
he was even, if that was the story, he was blatantly lying about what he was doing.
Yeah.
So what?
Yeah. So my thing is,
you know what the smart thing to do is? Lie to the police when you've done something wrong.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
Any lawyer will tell you,
yes.
don't admit to doing something wrong.
Yeah.
That when they accuse you.
That's why we have courts.
How much have you had to drink tonight? 9, 10?
I mean, that's the reason we have courts. You know?
Right.
The police isn't the judge and jury.
Right.
All they do is get you to the place where they're gonna get you to the judge and the jury. That's their job. And you have a tough job. You know, I don't want this to come off as police bashing. And there's a lot of great cops out there.
It's like a friend that like mutual friend, when he got pulled over for DWI, the officer asked him how much he had to drink. He said 7 or 8.
Yeah.
It's just not a good answer.
No. And you know what? And yeah, cops have to deal with people all day, and it's a very dangerous job, and they have to deal with people who have broke the law. And yeah, you know, it's not. We're not denying that, but at the same time, it doesn't give them carte blanche to just do whatever they want, because there's still rules, and they have to abide by the laws as well. You know.
They should.
They should, and they don't.
Yeah, they're supposed to. And
there's lots of cases, like you've heard about. There's been a couple of cases in years back where I think it was here in town. I don't want to get too into it, but about a cop speeding and killing a person. And they didn't have their sirens on there and going to another car. They were just speeding because they're like, oh, I'm a cop. I can speed.
I've seen it. I almost got T-boned by a cop who ran a stop sign.
And he didn't have his sirens on? I've seen that too.
No sirens, just lights.
Yeah.
But,
and people don't realize, well, you know what? Speeding's still dangerous, no matter if you're a cop or not.
Right.
A cop car doesn't become invisible, and all of a sudden it could go through another car. If it hits it, it could still kill you, and they still have to, for me, like these, unless they're on a car, they still have to obey the law. It's no different than a normal citizen. So, I don't know. It's tough. But let's move on.
Whatever Obama says he's going to do, it's all PR. There's no
it's all PR.
There's no substance to it.
No, there's no substance to it. All right, but let's move on. Let's. I know we start off sort of a downer this week.
Turn it up. I want to hear it again. I don't know. There's not a lot we can do.
Nah, there's a.
All I can do is play with the soundboard.
What's the matter with you?
That's all you can do. But let's move on from these downers.
We could just do this for like 10 minutes.
What?
Here, she got a great ass.
Just go through all our soundboard stuff.
God.
Well, let's not start sucking each other's dicks quite yet.
Yes, but let's move on. Let's do something. Let's do something not as downer. Hey, let's do something funny. Okay, so I showed it to you before, and it's
This isn't funny, man. He's being choked to death.
let's move on. Let's show a different.
Show the same video.
Over and over.
Let's do something funny. Like you have Alzheimer's.
Let's show another video, but this is a lot funnier. It's not as serious. I showed it to you before, but for people who haven't heard, Tom Cruise's Fake John almost got hit by a bus.
Oh yeah.
Let's watch it again because I think it's funny. But he's fine. Don't worry, Tom Cruise is fine because he's Tom Cruise. Okay, there he is walking down some street in some city. He's not looking. He didn't look both ways. Oh no!
Oh god.
Oh god. See, kids? It's important to look both ways before you cross the street. Mr. Cruz learned that lesson. There he is, like, trying to pretend it didn't happen. The guy's like, I totally saw it. He almost got hit. He's like, I'm so embarrassed. What am I gonna do? People are gonna laugh at me.
That's fun.
And then he's like, you know what? I don't feel like walking anymore. I'm going back home. And he just walks away. Where do you think he's going?
Probably back to his hotel.
He's like, it's not worth getting breakfast right now. I'm just gonna send my assistant out.
Right. I've heard so much about the Egg McMuffin.
Right.
And then finally it's like, fuck that.
It's not worth it
I'm
at all.
calling room service.
Right, it's not worth it at all. For Tom Cruise.
There's no such thing as poor Tom Cruise.
It would have been if he was like stuck on the front of that bus, John.
That'd been crazy. It was like just the most graphic video.
I'm just getting crushed by the bus.
It's Tom Cruise though. This is how Tom Cruise thinks.
I wake up in the morning, I piss excellence.
Is that what he said?
Catch it?
No, I didn't catch
Well,
it.
I wake up in the morning, I piss excellence.
I bet you that's what he was thinking. He wasn't even.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't need to look both ways. I'm Tom fucking Cruise. But
gives himself a pep talk.
You're so money and you don't even know it.
yeah, that's it. He needs that, right? Like now he's forever gonna be embarrassed to cross the street. Now he's like, I can't cross the street now. People are always gonna know I almost got hit by a bus.
All right.
All right. It is sort of like you ever been like you've been in public and you do something embarrassing. You never want to go back to that same place again because
I go back.
You have no shame.
Yeah, you're the guy that did that thing. Yeah. Right. They always buy me a shot.
Poor Tom Cruise.
Okay, there's no such thing as poor Tom Cruise.
But look at him, John. Look at him.
It's an oxymoron.
You think it's an oxymoron? You think you can't say those words together? Poor and Tom and Cruise.
No.
Why not?
Use that in a sentence. Poor Tom and Cruise.
Look at him. Look at him. He's so happy. He's like, I'm going to go get an Egg McMuffin. And he's like, oh shit. Oh, hope nobody saw that. Hopefully nobody's filming me right now. Oh, almost got hit by a bus. Oh, look at him. He looks so embarrassed. He doesn't even want to talk to the guy. He's like,
I think he's going to be okay.
Look at him. He's so awkward. Look at him. He's just standing there.
He's going to be all right.
He doesn't even want to cross the street anymore. Look at him. Poor guy. Poor Tom Cruise. That's all I got to say. Poor Tom Cruise. So.
Sure, he went out and to one of his crazy, wild, eyes wide shut parties.
And observe. We were talking about this before. Like, I have a theory that Tom Cruise doesn't even have sex. He does what he did in that movie where he just observes other people having sex, and that's how he gets thrills. He's just observing the human race have sex.
Yeah.
What you think? Okay, moving on from. Let's stay in the Hollywood vein, as I like to call it. John, have you heard of a comic book supervillain team named Suicide Squad?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Well, apparently Warner Brothers is going to make a movie based on this DC Comics supervillain team up. It's from a series of comic books. Apparently it's a team of villains, and their name is Suicide Squad. Now, for people who aren't familiar...
Wait, you know what?
Go ahead.
No, I haven't. Are you going to show a trailer?
No, there's no trailer. It's just an announcement of it.
I think somebody I know who's a comic book nerd mentioned
about this?
Suicide Squad, and I have no idea what they're talking about. I still don't.
Apparently, these are a group of like villains, like super villains from different comics, and the government decides to use them for high risk missions that more than likely is going to get this group killed.
Goddamn government! Since
they're super villains, they're going to put them on. So they put like a bomb in their heads, and it's like, well, if you don't do this, we're gonna this bomb's gonna go off. So that's how they make them do all these dangerous missions. Well, apparently they're gonna make a movie, and it's gonna be written and directed by a Fury director, David Ayer, and they announced the cast. Let me go through it. Okay, so the Joker and Harley Quinn are characters. The Suicide Squad, and Jared Leto and Margot Robbie have been cast.
It's the Joker?
The Joker.
Okay. These characters have never coexisted before this movie, have they?
What do you mean?
Like the Joker from Batman.
What do you mean I've never coexisted?
I mean, did they written them? Oh, they did write them together?
I don't. Oh, okay. You mean, it's from a comic book, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's from a
that's
comic
what
book.
I'm asking.
Yeah, it's from a comic book.
I know the Joker was written for Batman.
Yeah, but it's a spin-off of...
Okay, so they had a spin-off comic book, and now they're having the movie on the spin-off comic book. Okay.
Yes.
Gotcha.
The Joker's going to be played by Jared Leto, and Harley Quinn, which is sort of the Joker's, not like wife or girlfriend, but sort of his sidekick, for people who aren't familiar with the comics books. And she's going to be played by Margot Robbie. It was she was Leonardo DiCaprio's wife in The Wolf of Wall Street. So...
A.K.A. Hot.
Yeah. She's going to be... another character, Deadshot. It's going to be played by Will Smith. Now, Deadshot, he has been in movies before. He was in, I think... He was played by... you know what? Maybe I'm getting confused. Okay, moving on.
I don't think so.
Deadshot is going to be played by Will Smith. A character named Enchantress. It's going to be played by Cara Delevingne. I don't know who that is.
Me neither. I'm Googling as we speak.
And moving on. There's a character named Captain Boomerang. He's going to be played by Jay Courtney, who's actually the new... and I'm going to play a trailer of it a little later on. He's in the new Terminator movie. He plays Kyle Reese in the new Terminator movie. That's Jay Courtney. He's going to be playing a character named Captain Boomerang.
Don't worry, because Cara Delevingne is hot.
There you go. Okay. Good. And the last two...
She played a character in Grand Theft Auto.
And the last two members... Ooh, and you're going to be excited about this casting.
She was also in 2014. She was in a TV series called Playhouse Presents.
And the last two characters... You're going to like this casting. The last two characters are characters named Rick Flag and Amanda Waller. Now, these two have no powers, and...
Right, superheroes with no powers.
Well, apparently they're government agents. They're sort of the people who are keeping this group together, right? These two characters. The character Amanda Waller is not been cast yet.
Union leaders.
They're supposed to be. They're not villains though. The Amanda Waller character hasn't been cast yet, but reportedly Oprah Winfrey is the top contender for this character. But Rick Flag has been cast, and you're gonna like this casting. Who do you think got cast?
As who?
As this character named Rick Flag. He's sort of the leader of this group. Who do you think got cast? I think you're gonna like this cast.
Is this like an old guy, like a Professor X kind of thing?
No. Maybe 30s, mid-30s.
So he doesn't fight, he just leads?
He leads them. He fights, but he leads this group. Who do you think?
I don't.
It is. It's gonna be played by your boyfriend.
Oh, Tom Hardy.
Yes.
Ah.
The excited you got? Like, yeah.
Well,
So
he's obviously going to be the best part of the movie.
Yeah. He isn't a criminal.
Outside of Cara Delevingne.
He isn't a criminal. He is a man. This is the tradition. He is a man who's attempted to do what's right and comes from a line of Rick Flags that began in World War II. So he's sort of the leader of this group. He's not a villain, but he has to lead this group. And there's your cast. We'll keep you up to date. But that's all we have right now. It's just the
as long as Tom Hardy's in it, it's gonna be good.
So yeah, and you're gonna be excited about that. And speaking of, I talked about one of the actors, Jay Courtney, and he's in the new. Did you see the new trailer for Terminator? The new Terminator Genisys.
No.
Well, I'll show you right now. And Jay Courtney is playing Kyle Reese, and it's sort of a reboot, reimagining.
Schwarzenegger in it.
Schwarzenegger is definitely in it. Well, let's watch the trailer, and you will find out.
The following preview has been approved for appropriate audiences.
I look at each of you, and I see the marks of this long and terrible war. If we die tonight, mankind dies with us. The machine sent a Terminator back to the time before the war to kill my mother, Sarah Connor.
Sir, let me save her. What you're doing right now, this is the end of the war.
So we're going all prequel now.
It's a prequel, reimagining, reboot. You'll see. It's like showing a little bit more. So this is actually like the original. This is Kyle Reese,
Back to she was scared and weak.
exactly like the first movie. So this is a big change.
Come with me if you want to live. Now, soldier!
This is all wrong. John sent me here to save you.
From the Terminator that was sent back to kill me, I know, but we already took care of him.
We have been waiting for you.
He's the Governator.
He's killing himself.
The time John sent you to, it no longer exists. Everything's changed.
So someone from the future has decided that it's best that he kills himself.
Yes.
We can stop Judgment Day from happening.
Run! Where is he?
Is this the one where he's trying to get the last Turbo Man doll?
Yes. We'll finally find out if he does.
I'll be back.
What?
I need to get Turbo Man doll.
It's the last Turbo Man doll. All the Turbo Man dolls, they're all gone.
Yeah.
So apparently this sort of reboot, like there's some familiar scenes. If you remember the first one, the Kyle Reese gets sent back by John Connor to save John Connor's mom. That was the first one.
Bad Terminator.
Yes, and he fights Arnold Schwarzenegger in the first one. Well, this one reboots it. So apparently, according to this, a synopsis, is they sent another Terminator, another Arnold, back earlier when Sarah Connor was a little kid. And he's been
He has no recollection of anything.
This is a different Arnold.
They look the same.
They just look the same because all of them look the same.
Because they're like robots.
It's a line of the T1 the T.
They took advantage of Henry Ford's
yes
assembly line
idea. So yeah, essentially. Just make it black, right? Isn't that what Henry Ford said? Just make it all black, and they'll buy it.
Nice.
So in this one, another Arnold gets sent back when Sarah Connor is a little kid, and she grows up with them. So he protects her. So now she sort of knows since she was a little kid about these Terminators, and they killed the first one from the first movie. So it sort of creates a new timeline. So this is sort of, as a reason, it's sort of a reboot, reimagining. It's a new timeline, so new stuff happens. Because you know what, they do have a time machine. They can go back to any time in the history of mankind. So they could technically just go back before, you know. So this is it doing that.
Even though Hawking says it's impossible.
Impossible. No, he's been waiting for his party. At his party, nobody showed up.
Right. It's an inside.
A little inside.
You have to watch a 3-part series on the Discovery Channel to understand that
that joke.
That mediocre joke.
Yes. Or Mr. Hawking. Nobody wants to come to his party. Let's show this last trailer. We'll do 2 trailers this week. It's a new Bruce Willis movie. It's called Vice. And it looks freaking amazing. No, that's not it. That's just an ad. This is the real one right here.
I want to see the rest of the ad.
Right.
Have you ever wanted something that's beyond your reach?
Yes.
Now imagine a place where there are no laws,
Okay.
no rules, no consequences.
John's house on a Friday night?
Vice.
Right.
The utopian paradise where you can have or do anything you want.
That resort keeps this city going. You had to go in there and cause a big scene.
You killed a girl in my world. Now you get to play with me. You would think
No, thank you.
that if people could commit any crime they could think of, they could get it out of their system. These people get a taste, and they just can't get enough.
There's not real people in there.
They look and act like humans, which gives our clients the most realistic experience possible.
It's just pure entertainment.
Pulse every night. Races the last 24 hours from their memory.
Sir, she's experiencing flashbacks.
Who's that girl?
We'll have everything back in working order.
This is gonna hurt like hell.
If the word gets out that an artificial is out there on the streets,
Understood.
How do you know?
facility's just the tip of the iceberg.
Nah,
None
man.
of we're exposed.
But it needs to be shut down.
It's the one man that wants a girl as badly as we do.
You're only gonna get deeper into the rabbit hole. There are many ways to flush out a rabbit.
Like a toilet.
Because I designed you. I got you into this mess. I'll get you out. Maybe there's a way we can take down Vice once and for all. We could give you an upgrade.
Not bad. For a robot.
You think anything's gonna change?
There's nothing you can do to stop it.
I'm just glad Thomas Jane's still getting work. So worry about him.
So I ask you, what's the harm in having a little fun?
I have no opinion on that movie.
Like I said, I'm just glad Thomas Jane is still getting work.
I don't even know who that is.
You don't know who Thomas Jane is? From Boogie Nights?
Who are they?
Thomas Jane? You don't know who Thomas Jane is?
I've seen Boogie Nights.
Yeah. He's the blonde guy, the one that, remember that drug deal? That he gets shot at the end?
Oh, in the house?
Yeah. The blonde guy?
Yeah, yeah.
The guy with the mustache? Yeah. It's Thomas Jane. You know, he's Punisher.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Punisher with John Travolta?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's Punisher.
Yeah.
That's the reason he's getting work, John, because people forget who he is. Okay. So moving on. Let's start wrapping it up. Let's do one last segment, John. I think you know what we're gonna do. It is the segment that is sweeping the nation.
Make me look stupid.
Yes. John's gonna try to do his ABCs. No, it's the weekend box
I
office.
have 2 weeks in front of me here.
It's the weekend box office results. For people who haven't heard this podcast before, let me explain the rules. John's going to try to guess what the top 5 movies of the week are, but I'm going to make it a little easy for him. I'm going to give him the top 5 movies of the week, but I'm going to put it in alphabetical order.
You promise?
I promise.
Somebody misfiled something. What could be easier? It's all alphabetical. You just put it in
promise?
the right
I
file,
promise.
according to alphabetical order.
I promise, Mr. Cage.
A, B, C,
Sorry,
D,
Mr. Cage.
E, F, G,
I will never.
H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y.
Did he finish? I don't even know if he finished. Let's go.
So I'm going to give him alphabetical order, and John has to put them in order of how much money they made. Okay, so
well, this part.
No new movies to speak of, John. The 2 new movies are real small, and they're not even in the top 5. So I'm not even going to bother.
Tell me
with
when
them.
I should apply pen to paper.
Okay, so these are the top 5 movies in alphabetical order, John. You ready?
Go.
First one, Big Hero 6, because it starts with a B.
Wait, should I be writing this?
Yes, you should be writing this. Big Hero 6. 5th week out, still in the top 5.
Go, go, go.
Okay. Next one up is Horrible Bosses 2.
Go, go, go.
We got The Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 1. And next one, Interstellar. And after that, the last one, Penguins of Madagascar, the sequel to Madagascar. And those are your top 5 movies in alphabetical order. What do you think won the weekend box office, John?
Ooh,
All these movies have been out at least 2 weeks. All of them.
You know, I have last week and the week before, right? So that should help me.
They've all been out at least 2 weeks. All of them.
Can we get a... Jesus, hold on.
No, Jesus is not going to help you.
Oh, shit, it has to be Hunger Games.
You think Hunger is number 1?
Well, they kicked ass last week.
All right, they are. They're still kicking ass, John. How much ass did they kick? How much money did they make this week?
This week 3 or 4?
This is week 3 for them.
For 123 to 1.
They were number 1 last week, and then they were number 1 the week before that. So they've been number 1 3 weeks in a row.
Went from 123 to 56, which I have. I don't even know if those are right. Let's drop it in. Let's round down, drop it in half. 25.
It made $21,600,000. 62% drop. It has made $257 million. It has made back its budget in less than 3 weeks. Okay, what's number 2?
21?
Yes, 600,000. What's number 2?
What? We got to stick with last week. We had Penguins at 25.
So you think it's Penguins this week?
Yeah, because nothing new's really come out.
Yeah, you're right. It is Penguins of Madagascar for the second week in a row, and number 2.
24. Let's cut it in close to half, and let's do 12.
Close. 11,100,000. 56% drop. It has made 49,591,000.
That's not that bad.
Not bad. What do you think is number 3?
No, I was talking about my gas.
What's number 3?
Last week.
And by the way, all these movies were top 5 last week as well. So no new movies in the top 5.
Horrible Bosses. Let's cut it in half.
You think it's Horrible Bosses, number 3?
Yeah, but I'm going to cut it in half. Wait, first of all, is it...
You think it's Horrible Bosses too? Is that your fun? I'm not swaying you one way. I'm just asking. You seem confident before I asked you. I'm not trying to say you one way or the other.
Oh, shit. I'm reading this wrong.
No, but you think it's Horrible Bosses too?
1, 2. Hold on. 1, 2.
Take your time.
Last week it was fucking Big Hero 6. No, you know what? I'm going to say Big Hero 6.
No.
No?
No. Try again.
Just last week they were 3 million apart from what I wrote down. God, is it Interstellar?
Need your final answer, John.
Yeah, we're taking too much time. They're both PG-13. Horrible Bosses in
Horrible Bosses is... I don't know. Isn't that R? It isn't R? Probably PG-13. You're right.
Interstellar.
Try again. It is Horrible Bosses 2. You were right the first time. I don't know how you... Yeah, you're excellently right.
Because I was reading the shit that I had from last week.
How much do you think it made? Number 3. Horrible Bosses 2. It was number 5 last week, and it jumped to number 3 in the second week out.
Put it at a... God damn. I get mad.
And it's funny, you had it right by accident. You were just like going with the flow, and you had it right. How much do you think it made? I had to make less than 11,100,000.
9.
9?
Sure.
It made 8,600,000. 44% drop. It has made 36,075,000 in 2 weeks. Number 4, John. You got Big Hero 6 and Interstellar. Which one of those is a number 4?
I have no idea.
Just pick one. Number 4.
It's just fade because I've been so off today. Big Hero 6.
You are correct. It was number 3 last week, and this was number 4. They just dropped one spot down. Big Hero 6. How much money do you think it made? Has to be less.
Let's drop $1 million. 8.
8. It made 8,130,000.
Nice.
56% drop. It has made 177 million.
I can't imagine Interstellar has to be really close.
Interstellar is number 5. How much do you think it made?
8.
8 million?
Sure.
It made $8 million exactly.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Nice.
49% drop from last week. It has made $158 million. It's almost at its budget, but I'm sure it already passed it if you add international. To round out the top 10, number 6 was Dumb and Dumber 2 in its 4th week out with 4,169,000. That's made $78 million so far. Number 7, The Theory of Everything, the Stephen Hawking movie, at 2,668,000. Number 8, Gone Girl just doesn't want to leave the top 10. It has made an additional 1.5 million. It has made $162 million so far. Pretty good for an R-rated movie. Number 9 is a new movie, The Pyramid, at 1.35 million. And the last one, running out the top 10, is Birdman, with an additional 1.15 million.
How can he be both bird and the man?
And there you go.
Damn.
That's your box office top 10 weekend box office results.
You know what's funny is I had Horrible Bosses, like, I had it there, and I kept swearing that it had to be number 2, because I was looking at that.
Mm-hmm.
Or, I'm sorry, not number 2. Number 3 is what I had it at. And I read 3 and 2 wrong here.
Mm.
But I still... Screw this game.
No, not screw this game, John. Reloads it. Next week, you know, we never did this, but, you know, I think we should. Just something to look forward to. Next week, the new movies coming out, the 2 big movies coming out are Exodus, Gods and Kings, the new Christian Bale movie about Moses, and the new Chris Rock movie, Top 5. And it's coming out. That one is in a little bit less theaters, only 975. And then we got a couple small movies coming out in a few theaters. We got Inherent Vice, the new Paul Thomas Anderson movie, coming out in 5 theaters. So that won't get a wide release until later on, I guess, of next year, probably like in January. So those are the movies to look forward to for next week. So you can start studying, John. And you can start predicting maybe.
That drop is crazy now.
Yeah.
The Interstellar drop versus the Horrible Bosses drop.
Yeah, it is. So
15 to 9 to... No, actually, okay, no, that makes sense.
So there you go.
Hunger Games is still going to be number 1 next week.
They're predicting Hunger Games is going to be the number 2 movie of this year. So
screw this game.
Okay, so that's it. That's it for us this week.
And now for our final word.
Final word from our sponsors.
I don't know. Do you have one?
We are brought to you by...
Because she got a great ass!
It's brought
and
to you...
you got your head all the way up it!
It's brought to you by a great ass. Yes, Mr. Pacino's right. You know, before we leave, I want to say that it's been great being here, John. But this is my formal announcement. I am retiring.
Really?
It's time to pension out, John. No.
I highly doubt you've set up any of the proper accounts for any of that.
No, I would have plea for everybody.
How do I owe taxes when I don't make any money?
Right. I really messed up. I hired one of those crooked accountants, one of those mob accountants. He screwed me over. No, this is the portion where I ask everybody listening to subscribe. Hit the subscribe
I've
button.
seen you before. You're the asshole on TV.
To subscribe to our podcast. Hit that subscribe button if you enjoyed our podcast and you want to enjoy future podcasts. It will give you a heads up when we post a new podcast. So it's a great tool. And hit that like button if you like this week's episode. I know it was a little downer in the beginning, but not every week's gonna be downers like this week. We had a shitty week. What are you gonna do about it?
You could just not talk about it. Talking about other stuff.
You could have done that, John. But next week we promise you a fun-filled, no downer stories.
Ignorance is bliss.
Ignorance is bliss. We were talking about that this weekend. Ignorance is bliss. That's why people who are stupid are happier.
All right.
Makes you wish you were a little stupider, right?
Sometimes I do.
A little bit stupider. Like it's tough being in that middle ground. Like I wish I was either smarter or dumber.
No.
It's like being in the middle class.
It's like that time they hooked me up to a big computer to see if I could teach it stuff.
And you didn't break it at all?
Oh, the computer got so hot that it caught on fire.
How do you thought that happened?
Crazy.
But yes, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. It will help us greatly, and I think it'll help you greatly too.
Take some sound advice from the governor.
Yes.
You should not drink and bake.
And with that sound advice, we will leave you for another week, and we will see you next week. We're in the swing of December. Christmas is upon us. Everybody's doing Christmas shopping right now, or delaying it for another 2 weeks. Either way. Hope everybody's having a happy holiday so far. You've put up your lights up yet, John?
I put up one light.
One light?
It was the porch light.
Because it went out the other day?
It's been out for like 4 weeks.
It has been out. I was told you the other day. I'm like, I think your porch light's out. It's really dark out here.
Yeah.
You told me I was being silly.
Don't panic.
All right, everyone, chill.
It's gonna be okay.
Everybody's just chill for until next week, and we will see you next week. So we bid you adieu. Bye bye.